3, 2.
Welcome back, y'all. The 4th episode of The Vibe with Earth and Victoria. I'm Victoria, so you know I'm one to gossip, so you definitely heard it from me. To my side right now, y'all, we have a redhead in the house. Earth.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? What's up? Welcome back to the Vibe Tribe. How are you guys? We missed you. I missed you guys last Wednesday. I wanted to be here, but you know, I had to be on the plantation and I had to, make those hours. But we're back here today, and I'm really glad to be back with you guys. How was your weekend, Vicky?
Well, I had a little bit of an entanglement. Yes! I'm going to tell the story real quick because I got to get into some of the
She's going to be my business today, guys.
Business today.
Yeah.
We're going to spill some tea on her today. But first, let's go to the videotape with Vicky. I told you my life is a movie. So this just played out like a movie. I'm in LA November, the first time ever. I'm coming back, flight delayed, trying to get some food that I don't need to eat because I'm trying to diet. This tall guy, just, you know how you feel like somebody's hovering over you? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, looking, he goes, oh, can't make up your mind. And I look over, I'm like, nah, I can't. We got masks on, so you can't really see your face. Yeah. But I could tell he had like beautiful eyes. He had like hazel eyes, and his eyes matched his hair and all that. But he still looked like he was a baby. So he was like, wow, I like how your eyes are. That's the only thing you can see. So I'm like, yeah, okay. Now, mind you, I had this big Mexican man behind me, too. I'm not focused on a Mexican man. I'm focused on getting this grub. And then this young boy is in my face. And he keeps talking. I'm kind of talking. And then I'm like, I don't want no food now because he's talking to me too much. He goes, you don't need pork, do you? I'm like, oh, God, he's 5%. I don't know. What's up? And I said, oh, he's 5%er, you know. Then he's like, no, I was raised that way. I said, oh, no, my uncle was a 5%er. I know, and I know I shouldn't eat pork. You know, you that whole thing. But I'm just like talking to a kid, you know. Then he went there. And he tried to holler.
The definition of entanglement.
And so then I'm like, do you know how old I am? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I told him. He was like, no.
Yes.
You know, he said, you got the Yeezys on it. My kids wore these Yeezys. So fast forward, the conversation keeps going. I told him, he's from Chicago. He's never been to New York. Right. So like he said, well, how can I beat you? Like, how can I convince you? I'm not scared. I said, well, let me tell you this. If you ever in New York and we bump into each other, right? I'll go on a date with you. He said, you go on a date with me? He said, okay, if you go on a date with me and the date is good, can I fly you to Chicago to show you Chicago? Because I've never been to Chicago. Okay. Here I go. Yeah, boo. Yeah, whatever. Fast forward to a week ago.
Oh, okay. Oh. Now here we go. How was your week, Vicky?
I'm coming out the mall because if you know me, I go to Queens Center Mall every week.
Every day.
She's going every day.
I call her every day. Where are you, Vicky? I'm out. I hear her. She's out. Go on.
So I'm walking. He's tall. He's 6'4".
Oh.
So he stands out. He stands out. You know, I like him kind of like right damn near white. But, you know, I like my brothers. The light-skinned brothers are going to make a comeback. I don't know when. But it's all about the chocolate. But so then I look, I go, oh, I noticed him before he noticed me. Yeah, now, mind you, I had the wavy curly thing. But I don't have the ring on today. It's this ring I wear all the time. It's a pearl ring. So I hurry up and walk. I'm like, I noticed that guy. You're not going to find two guys that look like that with the hazel eyes and the hair that matches his eyes. Right, he got like that sandy hair, like he must be.
Oh, you remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
She remembered. Okay.
And he wore a lot of jewelry.
Okay.
Like a lot of like kind of old school jewelry would kind of throw you off. Like, oh, he might be older. Right. He just looks young.
Right.
Nah, he wasn't young. So I do this. I went like that. He's behind me. Vicky, what, Vicky? And I'm like, no. Yes, he remembered my name and everything. I did the turnaround. He was like, yes. See? He was so excited.
Because he knows what's about to pop.
he was so excited. And then he comes up and he was like, first of all, it's in the world of the pandemic.
Yeah.
I got my mask on. He just kindly went, boop, boop, pulled the mask down. He pulled his down, gave me a kiss on the forehead. You kissing me, wait. How is you kissing me? And how am I letting it happen?
On the forehead. You know that's that caring kiss. And I care about you.
Yes.
Right.
And he was like, I am in New York, so you already know.
Ooh,
and he was like, so where we going? And I was like, he said, I didn't have your social media. I didn't have anything. I couldn't find you, and I could tell him my voice.
Look at God.
I'm going to find her.
Look at God.
I said, Jesus, Jesus. So then turn around, fast forward. I'm trying to hurry up with the story because we got to get to her.
Let's go on with the story. Y'all
so
find out, don't worry.
He goes and says, okay. He gives me his number. He gives me his hotel, the hotel we staying at, everything, which is in the city. So I'm like, what are you doing in Queens? He said, my boys is over here at the sneaker store. They have a sneaker store in Queens Center Mall.
Right.
And I was like, nah, there's a Target down there because I need some more cosmetics because I ran out.
Right.
I'm hoping I'm not going to get lost going back.
Right.
It's a straight route. But look, I got my girl. And I'm like, you got your girl, really? But I'm a woman. Anyway, so we exchanged numbers and all of that. And he was like, so we're going to Ruth Chris or Peter Lucas. Whoa, game time. First of all,
listen,
Ruth Chris is my joint.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. I've never been to Peter Lucas, but not Ruth Chris.
Let me tell you, you spending money.
Okay.
You're taking me to Ruth Chris. Peter Lucas, anybody can kind of
go. You're right.
Ruth Chris, it's a different kind of caliber. So I'm like, wow. I said, oh, Ruth Chris is my favorite. He said, I thought it would be. He said, I just know you. I just know I know you.
So his wallet was ready.
His wallet was ready
because he offered.
And the one thing, the plus was, he said, see you later, Peaches. He did not call me babe. I cannot stand the new thing.
Oh,
babe. Everybody's
yeah.
somebody's freaking babe.
Yeah,
I'm not your babe. You know what I mean?
Kind of worn out the word.
So next episode, we will discuss the date, which happens Saturday night.
Is when you
wait, but I told him. He said when I come to New York, it has to be an all-day date.
Girl, and do you know what an all-day date isn't?
So the first part of the date, we're going to some type of day spa.
Okay.
And then I said, so we got to do lunch too?
Yes.
He was like, well, I heard that the place in Central Park is open again. Oh, where you getting this?
Do you know all of that is foreplay?
Yeah.
All of that is foreplay. We're gonna go eat. We're gonna do it from the morning, and we're gonna go all the way down. He's foreplaying with you all the way down. He don't necessarily need to touch you to foreplay. See, that's why you got to learn how to do certain things. Mind fuck you first. Fill your belly. Give you a couple drinks or whatever it is that makes.
I'm not drinking ish.
Okay. But he's already mind fucked you, so.
And he young.
And he, stamina.
To the feet now, like.
And then listen, the feet don't matter. Listen, tell him to wear a pair of boots. Put on a pair of Timbs, my dude. Let's get this going. Anybody who knows who has done the nasty with a partner and he ain't or she ain't, whoever, whatever you're dealing with. I'm part of the Rainbow Coalition, so we alphabet power. Yes. Them Tim boots, that will give you a nice grip. Nice. Your back is blown out.
Oh my God. So he of course he's called me every day.
Nice.
He's called me every day now, and the conversations are deep.
And they're nice. Deep conversations is also a form of foreplay too. It's like a sexual type of thing. Yeah.
And he was like, "Where you live at?" I said, "I live in Queens." And then I said, "I got a roommate." He said, "Oh, you got a male roommate, right? Because I can't see you with a woman."
He's done pegged you.
He's kind of pegging me.
Yeah, he is, and he's officially gonna peg you.
So then I told him, so I told him about the bozos, as guys we met or whatever. Right. He said, I already got your name. Well, what's my name? Bozo Beauty, because you've been buying all these beauty projects. And so I'm like, okay. When I see the bozos again, I'm gonna say, okay, I'm Bozo Beauty.
Bozo Beauty.
So, but enough about me. We will discuss my date next episode. Sir, I've been told from some of my friends that they have no idea what she's all about.
Okay.
She dates a girl. She didn't remember the girl from the job or whatever. But I'm like, Earth to take like a moment to educate me because I don't know much. I don't know much about the terminologies that I should be using with the LGBT
I'm gonna just tell
community.
you, I'm gonna tell the tribe an experience that I had.
And I want to know. This is what I want to know.
What do you want to know?
When did you know that you were gay? Because you've been married, you have 2 children.
I have children. I was married to my husband, my children's father, for 17 years.
Wow.
Yes, how long 17 years. And we would have still been married if I didn't end the relationship. But here, let's do this. So here's what it is, tribe. My inner, my core, not my mind, maybe my subconscious already knew. I had no clue. I'm talking, my subconscious knew probably by the time I was 18, 19.
Oh, so it didn't happen when you were like 5 and 8.
You know what? There were things, okay, here's what it is. There were things that happened prior in my younger years, nothing sexual, but what I was interested in finding and what I was interested in watching. Ooh. Right. Those were the things those were the key signs that would tell me that it was, but I didn't believe it. I didn't acknowledge it. I didn't even think of it because that's not what society says that you're supposed to do. Now, in my younger years, I never had a problem with boyfriends. One, we ended up breaking up. Before I'm walking out my apartment, I got another one. Like it was easy that way. So, I went with the flow. So that was my life for a very long time. But here's what it is with me. I had a tendency, because you never know somebody until they go home and close their door. That is the real person. That is the real person. They're by themselves. They close their door. Windows are closed. That is the real them. When I was home by myself, door closed, blind closed, I'm looking for some pornography that entails women only. Wow. That's what I'm looking for. I was never interested in heterosexual porn. Never. Before I acknowledged anything, I'm talking I'm 16, 15, 16, 17. That's what I'm looking for. Really? The first time that I saw pornography, it was a male and a female. It did absolutely nothing for me. And I was a little worried because I thought something was wrong with me because they're like, dudes are getting excited. Oh yeah, look at her, look at him, look at this. I'm not really feeling that. Like I'm watching it because I'm watching it. But it's doing absolutely nothing for me. So I thought, it made me nervous because I didn't know why it wasn't doing anything for me. So when you would see the 2 women, it was on for you. Yes, but I'm still not acknowledging it. Right. I'm still not acknowledging. My mental is still not acknowledging. Remember, I have a boyfriend or boyfriends, right? She had boyfriends. Yeah, look, let me tell you, I had no problems. I was a little looker. Anybody who knew me back in my days, my little Canadian corny self, I was a looker. I was a little pretty, a little bit. You had a shape underneath those bands. I had a bit. So, that was really easy for me. So I didn't really acknowledge it until years and years and years and years and years. But here's what happened before the acknowledgement. I had an experience. Let me try. Can we get to the experience? Because I need details. Let me tell you about my first experience. I used to run track in high school. Oh, so she had an athletic. Right, yeah. I used to run track. I ran track for a long time. And what I used to do, actually, I never stayed in a high school for longer than 1 year. Okay. I moved around a lot. That's back in the days, I knew a lot of people, and it's only because of that. I went to so many different high schools. And that's because of you being? I just didn't want to stay in one place all the time. Okay. Then again, also too, I grew up in the child welfare system, so sometimes I moved around. Yeah. Give them the back. Yeah, I grew up in the child welfare system, so I was kind of moved. And sometimes when I didn't move, I just chose that I wanted to go to a new school. I just didn't want to go back to old kind of thing. So this particular school that I went to, Vanier, Vanier High School, they had we had our track coach, and she was a teacher. She was an actual teacher, but she was like an assistant. Yes, she was an assistant. This teacher. Is about to go somewhere. So in Vanier, you know, after, you know, school, we have our track practice. But a lot of times what she would do is she would invite us, the team, back to her house. She would, you know, barbecue, burgers, ham, you know, whatever, you know, lemonades, we never got alcohol. We never got, so this particular day we had practice. It was a good training. It was a good practice there. I felt really good. You know, I saw my speed was, you know, picking up and so forth. So she's like, listen, beautiful day, guys. We're gonna be back in my house, but I'm gonna, you know, throw some, you know, burgers, hot dogs, whatever. So we all went. It was normal. That was very normal. So I go there, mind you, I'm not thinking absolutely anything because all it is my track team and we're gonna go hang out like we usually do. Done it before. Go there, everything's cool. Long story short, people start to disperse. Gotta go home, gotta go home. These are high school students, gotta go home. So I'm the last one there. Mm-hmm. So now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. She's like, no, you don't have to go right now. Like, I mean, you can. I was helping her bring stuff in. She's like, you don't have to go. I can see, you know, I can see if I can get you a cab home. This was way before a Lyft. This was way before Uber and stuff. So while she's in there bringing things in, she had a really interesting place though. She had a lot of records, vinyl. Back then, y'all young people don't know, drivers don't know about vinyl, but she had a lot of records. She had a lot of books. She had a lot of interesting like artifacts that just caught my eye. So I found myself very intrigued by what she had. Okay. So I'm looking. She's doing what she's doing. Mind you, I don't know this woman's plotting on me. I've never had an experience. I don't know nothing about this. To be honest with you, I have not acknowledged what it is going on with me. Mind you, yes, I do watch certain things, but that was my secret kind of thing. Right. Nobody knew. So, you know, I'm standing there watching, and this lady, because she was old, I was literally 19 years old. She comes up, 18, sorry, I was 18. She comes up. She was legal, so. I was legal. She was much older. I think she was like, you know, 30s. Early 30s. But anyways, but she didn't look it. So I'm standing there and somebody comes behind me, you know, that whole, but she did a real non-aggressive so it was really crazy. And this is how I know I am who I was, that because it made me jump at first, but I did not tell her to stop. I didn't ask her what she was doing. No. I didn't tell her to stop. I kind of just went with it. Now, she was experienced. I have never had the experience, right? So she asked me, have you ever been with a woman? I said, no, never. She said, have you ever thought of being a woman? I said, no, never. That was a lie.
Right. That was a lie. Saw through that.
You know what it is also too? I've also noticed, and I'm going to continue on with the story, but people have told me, I remember back in my days, people pegged me with that. And I would get very upset. They'd be like, are you gay? No, I am not. Hello, I have a whole boyfriend, bitch. You tried to fuck him last week, don't you remember? I was not acknowledging it. So, you know,
you able to cross that vibe.
I guess I did because she's in the light, so she was able to read it from me, I guess.
Those are the people that come.
I didn't know. I don't know what she was reading, but clearly she read something. Long story short, that woman gave me a wonderful fucking experience. I didn't know what I was doing. I did nothing. This was the only time I think I've ever not did anything because I'm very hands-on, but I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. So I literally let her do what she was doing. Let me tell you something. When I left her place, I knew that I liked what happened.
Oh, wow.
But I could not share it. My best friend, and she's going to probably see this.
Best friend, you didn't know best friend.
I did not tell my best friend. I did not tell Dawn because I already know my best friend. I met my best friend maybe a few years before.
Best friend, you sitting there thinking, Dad, does she like me?
No, actually, no. We were just talking about this yesterday because remember I told you I was talking to my friend Dawn. She was like, girl, we were just like, she never saw me like that. It was just genuinely a really good friendship. And people thought we were.
Wow, because y'all were so tight.
We were so tight. I was at Dawn's house every day, like into the night. And my boyfriend at the time would come pick me up at 2 o'clock in the morning from Dawn's house. I've been there since 11 o'clock in the morning.
But the thing about it is, why do people can't understand that gay people, if they're the same sex, They're not always trying to hit on
I'm not always trying to hit on
Yeah.
somebody. And to be honest with you, again, still then with my best friend, I did not acknowledge
that
this is what I like. But when I left that chick, her name was Paige. When I left, I knew her. I didn't have to call her Miss Paige. When I left, I thought about that for years.
Really?
Years. Because it wasn't something that I was into. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have an avenue to get into that. So it's almost like it was my little fantasy thing going on. And I thought about that for years. I've had boyfriends.
After that.
Yeah. Never told a boyfriend, never told a friend. I was too embarrassed because I enjoyed it so much and I thought I shouldn't be.
Because that's what we were taught.
And that's what we were taught. And then I had a boyfriend, so I also had to be careful because then and I was confused because I was like, did I cheat on my boyfriend? I didn't know. I did because it was a whole experience, the whole climax, it was everything. And it was, like I said, it was the most wonderful experience I've ever experienced in my life.
So you go on after this experience.
That was the only time.
Date guys.
Yes, still dating guys because that's the right thing to do. And
then you find love, you get married.
So so I date. I had a boyfriend for a long time. We're exclusive for a long time. Then we ended up breaking up. He got somebody pregnant, but that's okay. We've moved on. I've forgiven him. Shit happens. I met my children's father, which became my husband. Now I did share that story with him. I told him about, I told him about the thoughts that I had. But see that nigga capitalized on that shit. Because we got married. Then he said, yo, listen, I got this friend. She thinks she's pretty. I think she's pretty too. Let's do this. I was like, all right. Oh, wow. So he introduced me when I came to New York. So over the years, I had so I ended up moving to New York because I lived in Toronto, Canada. I was raised in Toronto, Canada. So I moved to New York, married this wonderful guy, great guy. So he opened the door for swingers. We were a couple and we used to swing. So we used to go places. We used to invite people into our bedrooms.
Okay.
Yeah. It was we were very open with it. But what happened one day, she got way open. As my experiences kept going on, I'm realizing, nigga, I don't want you here. Like, I can handle this myself, right? But I don't need a wingman. But I wouldn't tell him that. That's my husband. Right. I had much respect for him.
And he accommodated what you like. But you know what? You got to answer this question.
Okay.
As time goes on, did he realize that how did y'all come to where he realizes she just wants this and she doesn't want me?
He didn't realize it. What happened was we were doing it. And I think one day he's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done.
He saw you really getting it in.
Yeah, he said, I don't want to do this anymore.
That's what it was.
But when he said he didn't want to do it anymore, I went with my husband because that is my husband. I'm going to make sure that he is happy. I'm very much, when people are married, I believe that marriage is very sacred. So when one person says, I don't like when you do something, as the spouse, you really should take that into consideration. Either not do it or meet in the middle somewhere. Let's have a discussion on how, we can make this work and you don't feel offended. He said he didn't want to do it anymore. So I was like, okay. So I kind of went with that. But here's what happened. See that online chatting room? I was still on online chatting rooms.
Oh, that was big.
That was big. The dial-up. AOL, I was on it. And the chat room, so really quick, he would notice that he never stopped me. Then I would meet people. He never stopped me.
Oh, he knows you're going out.
He would know. I would always be honest with him and let him know, listen, I'm going out. But here's what happened. I wouldn't tell him no details. I'll be just like, I'm going to go meet a friend. Because I don't want my husband to feel inferior. I don't want my husband to feel like he may be losing me. I don't need him to feel that. I need to make sure my household is good. Oh. So I would just be like, what would happen? I would go out and we turn it up. Like there would be times I wouldn't come home. But I'm calling him.
I told you she had the tea today.
I would call him and let him know, listen, I'm kind of far right now.
And you ain't
late.
Home.
I was getting late. We had a lot to drink. I think I'm going to come home in the morning. He just appreciated that I called. Was never a problem.
Wow.
Right. He was a really good guy. Like, he never felt intimidated. He never got jealous but I was very careful. I made sure that he was satisfied. I pacified him. I made sure that he was good. I made sure that he always felt like a man, because I don't want him to, because that shit can go wrong for me. If he feels intimidated or he feels that shit can go wrong for me. So I have to skill it where my husband is still good. My kids are always good.
Right.
My home is always good. House is clean up. So you have nothing to say when I say I'm going out. It works. I did that for a couple years, but then I did that. But that's what happened though. I really realized, okay, he kind of fucked that up for himself. We would get into minor tips. I'm a talker. I want to talk about why this. Why did you forget to put the hat on the baby and it is 13 below zero? You say, now nagging. I want to talk. So now he gets in his attitude, blah, 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 blah. So now I'm shutting down. The worst thing that he did was allow me to sit and think.
Don't we let no woman think? I don't care.
Men, tribe, whoever, do not
let your woman
sit and think. If you don't want to speak right now, that's fine. Take a moment. But before you go to bed, before you go to bed, you must target what it is she needs to speak about. Because you let her sit and think she's going to go back to hindsight, then she's going to realize, wait, I don't like this. But wait, I like this. Oh, this nigga. Nah. I used to lay in the bed with his back turned to me. And.
Ooh, no.
And.
In there.
And.
And
yes, I'm scared and I want to talk. So now my back is going to turn. Now I'm really upset and I'm crying. It's been 3 days we haven't spoke about this.
What?
Guess what I've done in those 3 days? I've thought about stuff, and in some of them 3 days, somebody opened the door for me. That's all I needed. I'm put it out there. My friend Jamila opened the door for me. Wow. When I realized, when I walked into that door and I see all of the rainbow greatness, I said, I need to have a conversation with this man, and I need to let him know that I've been thinking, and I don't think this marriage is going to work. Now, I was also very careful. I did not break up with him to go be with a woman. I let him know what was happening in our relationship. Listen, I'm not dumb. Listen, you know I'm very calculated.
This can work even if it's not
it doesn't.
She's going
gay.
No,
it can work. You gotta skillfully know how to, because I'm not trying to hurt him. He's still the father of my children.
Giving us some juice.
That's how you gotta do stuff. You gotta do it. Like, I need him to be their dad still. I don't want to argue. First of all, I don't like to argue, right? So I need to make sure that he's okay. So I let him know what was going on in our relationship. The times that we haven't spoken, the 3, 4, 5 days a week with the back turned and you're not saying anything to me, but then you want to tap me on the shoulder and you got wood against you. Like, no. We had something to talk about. I'm not talking to your dick until your mouth says something. So so what happened?
I'm not talking to you until your mouth says something.
Yes, I did. But and that's how it went. So over time, it gradually happened. So I stopped giving myself in that way.
Oh, she did it.
Yes, I did. Oh. And then what I started doing, because I always have night shift, I come home, I know he's going to be sleeping, I creep my ass and sleep with my daughter.
Oh, no.
So now he wakes up, I'm not there, I'm in the next room, but guess what? You didn't get. And guess what? I didn't have to give up.
Whoa.
Wow. Right. So that went on for a long time.
It's a lot of work doing that too.
It is. But I my calculations, if my calculations was right, I knew that eventually a man needs to be satisfied. Like, you can't just leave him high and dry. You can't. So I knew that it was going to come. So he came to me. We had a conversation. I let him know what was going on in my relationship. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think you were ready. I'm 7 years older than him. So when I met this man,
he's more mature than they are anyway.
He was 19. I was 26. Oh. I didn't know. Because his cousin ended up saying, listen, I used to do fashion shows for his cousin. His cousin said, listen, she's older. She's not trying to fuck with nobody. Just say you're 24. Say you're 24. And he did. He fucked like he was 19. He fucked like he knew what he was doing. Right? So
this cougar.
That's exactly what it was. He thought it was so amazing. Went back and told everybody whatnot. But yeah, so eventually he did not find out that I was actually in that life until maybe about a year to 2 years after we divorced.
Oh,
but by that time,
divorce.
Yes, we went through the divorce and everything. By that time, he'd already found somebody.
Okay.
He was happy.
Oh, okay.
He was good. So now
he can kind of
accept it. So now we had another conversation, and I let him know what it was because I didn't want anybody to see me on the street in that life, and then he doesn't know.
Right.
You're not gonna come and bring bullshit and try to twist him. No. So I made sure I covered that. He was good. He's like, "Are you happy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty happy." He's like, "You know what? Then if you're happy, I'm happy too." My kids were good. My kids were good. They had no problems. So I mean, it really went well. And from then, I just kind of took off with my life, you know.
And she going to Miami.
Oh yeah, and I'm going to Miami this weekend.
And this weekend, what is it?
Sweet Heat.
She sent a little video out there on her IG.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
I've been quiet.
And her hair is red. She's a redhead now.
And blonde. Y'all can't see the back.
And you can't see the back. It's blonde and has like a little
design and shit on it.
Don't worry,
I'm gonna have.
And when she takes it down, I can't even imagine.
Don't even worry. Somebody, mother or
she's
daughter.
Coming.
Yeah,
she's coming.
They. As a matter of fact, Sweet Heat starts today. So you have people who are starting. It's from Wednesday until
Sweet Heat.
Girl.
Wow. How many years this been going on?
Oh, years. It didn't happen last year because of COVID. So now that COVID is up, they're back on. But it's just going to be a whole lot of ladies. You got some guys there too.
Yeah, because you know they always trying to run in on us.
No, but they're not on that side. They're going to be on our side of the fence. They're going to be those type of guys.
Oh, okay, I got you. I was a little lost. I think they trying to gauge that. Let me change you, bring you back to this side.
They're going to be part of the alphabet crew. Oh, yes, the alphabet crew.
So I'm going to be delicious tea.
Yeah.
Can we also discuss when I was talking about how? Well, because we're gonna do a photo shoot or whatever.
Yes.
And I was talking about, what did I call you? I called you something, and you was like, "No, that's not what I am. That's not how I dress."
Oh, I think it was like it was a feminine aggressor, or
sexy thuggish or something. I wanted her in a certain.
I'm more of a tomboy. I don't dress.
But no, you said there was a name for what it is you are.
Oh, I'm a fat boy.
You a who?
A fat boy.
You didn't say that word. Was that the word you said?
A tomboy, a fag boy. Yeah, I'm fag boy. Like everybody knows me. I'm like the gayest tomboy that you're gonna know. I'm so unicorn.
Okay.
And I'm one of those tomboys that like other aggressive boys.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. First of all,
so you wouldn't talk to a girl that was gay that looked like me?
Oh no, I would.
Okay.
I definitely would. But there's something innately in me that's very animalistic when it comes to that type of them. Yeah.
She's a trap.
Shut up. So basically, yeah, there's something that's in me that tweaks me with them. Don't get me wrong. I love women. I'm dating feminine. I mean, you know, so you know. I've dated feminine women, and I love. There's this one woman right now. She probably watching right now. I'm gonna get you though. I'm gonna get you.
She wants you.
She yeah. No, I have to have that. Yeah, I have to have that. She's not a stud. She's very young.
That's why she hung out with all the guys. Because she said, I'm sorry. She was the only, okay, she's a female. She was the only one with all those animalistic guys. And she had the straight girls wanting to be in her team.
I mean, hey, listen. I just am who I am. I don't try hard.
Yeah, she didn't even try.
I'm just me. I can't be anything else but me. It just seems that people like to gravitate to. It's because I always smell good. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, she always did. And you know, when we was doing training, I'd be dead up on her.
Yeah, like people always.
And that's was my thing. It was like, oh, Vicky, you sit with her. How's her? I said she smelled good.
Yeah, it's always people know me for that. So people tend to gravitate. Now, the one that I want right now, we've never met. She lives real far away. It's okay though because I'm gonna get her to New York. Yeah, it's just gonna be an experience.
Invite her on the show.
Yeah, and wait, you know what? I might invite her. Yeah, I could definitely. I ain't gonna say her name when I know she's watching, but you gonna be here, girl. Hey. You gonna be here. And then I have another friend. Actually, I was telling you that we have another friend. Her name is Elena. She's gonna be here for her birthday.
Yes, we're gonna have a little birthday.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little birthday bash for a friend of mine. She's hilarious.
Yes.
Very talkative. Very in the. She is also part of the Rainbow Crew, the Alphabet Power Crew. Yes. So
I feel like a part of something.
You said you are a part of something, Vicky. You really are. So yeah. That's my kind of. I guess you could say that was my. It was my first experience.
Wow, what an experience!
It was my first experience that went that far. I had another experience when I was 12, but it was just dry humping, and it was with a girl.
Dry hump.
Yeah, it was just dry humping with a girl.
Everybody did the dry hump.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh wow!
I just knew that we was on top of each other. But even back then,
you got the.
I liked it, but I never said anything about it because that's not what I'm supposed to like.
Right.
So I did a lot of hiding, only because I didn't want people to. I used to be very concerned about people what thought of me. What people thought of me back then.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
I always figured I have to have this image that fits into society.
Exactly.
You know. So when I got married, had my kids.
That's how the world has been painted. Especially growing up in the 70s.
Yep, that's exactly
and then
how it was.
The terminologies that people used. Oh, that fag, this, that, he's gay, that homo. You will be canceled. You will
Quickly
be canceled.
Nowadays. Now you can't do
and
that.
And then you think about if I was coming up in the 70s, so the people that were raising me and family members, it's hard to bring them down.
And you can't.
And tell them you can't say these words.
They're already stuck in there.
Yes. But I don't mean that. And I know legitimately they don't mean to be mean-spirited. They will welcome you and give you a plate of food.
Yeah.
Because we never believe in anybody going hungry.
Exactly.
But you say, where's your gay friend at? Why can't it just be my friend? You know?
I've heard that before. And I always wondered about people back then and even before my time, how they lived. Like, how did they, because it takes a lot of work to hide.
Oh, good.
It really does take a lot of work to hide. I would always have to make sure I'm not a good liar. I tend to forget stuff a lot. That's why I always keep shit as close to the truth or the truth as possible. Because for me to make up a lie, that means I have to remember it, right? My memory is I smoke too much weed for my memory to be. My short-term memory is not that good. So I always figure, like, how do people? Because they've been lesbians and gay people from way back. Time.
I'm watching what is it? The author Dickinson. Was it Emily Dickinson?
Yeah.
If you could catch that, that's on Apple TV. What? She was so gay.
Really?
Oh, it's such a good. And then it's
what is it? A series or a movie?
It's a series.
It's called Emily Dickinson.
Yeah, it's her story. It's her life story.
Oh.
So gay back in the day. So gay back in the day, and no, she had to hide it. It wasn't even that it was hidden. It was just like these feelings, and she couldn't even understand it.
Yes.
Back then, could you imagine two women?
Yeah.
Oh, and that gave her all those poetry and everything we got from her.
That came from that.
And her inspiration was the girl that she was in love with.
Gotcha.
Who eventually married her brother. I'm telling you, you gotta catch this on Apple TV.
What?
It is so good.
Do you know how devastating that is? This is one of the reasons why, me personally, now do not get me wrong, for the bi-curious, bisexual, whatever, no problems. Y'all are just as cool as us. I just prefer not to date them.
Right.
I'm not.
You told me that when we was at Trinity.
Yes, I prefer not to date them only because, first of all, there is no competition between man and woman. So I will never be competing with a man, ever. Right? But now, when you and I are together and we have an argument, now you get mad at me and you go over here to Joe.
Exactly.
I'm fucking furious. I think I'm more furious if you had went to Jane. I'd have been mad. But now you're going to Joe.
Right.
And sometimes, sometimes you and Joe, once, twice, Joe really liking that shit. You want to hit it 3 times. Boom, now you pregnant on my watch. Like that is so that is such it's very devastating to me. So what I do is I just stay away from it.
Yeah.
I just stay away from it.
You gotta be this way.
Yes. And again, I don't know.
Advocate right here.
Yes.
They have to be where they only date women. But isn't that kind of
I've had one who had come out of a hetero relationship. I was her next relationship after her hetero relationship. I told her about it. But I trusted her enough not to do that. She never did.
Oh, okay.
She never did. We had a conversation about it. And she just never did. Mind you, what was really crazy is I remember I went to see her one day. If she's watching, she's gonna crack up right now. So I'm doing what I'm doing. You enjoying it. Her doorbell. No, she hears the key push. Nigga had a key. That was her man. What? So now I'm very calculated. So I already knew what could possibly happen. My shit was close to me. Shoes, bag, everything. So when she's watching.
She got
when
the
yeah.
Hey girl, hey.
when I went out the other door.
Wow.
He came into one, I went back. Thank God she had a second door.
Woo! I told you today would be the Earth
yeah. But she was I trusted her. And I really liked her. Right? So even though I wasn't the one who approached me, she hemmed me up somewhere. Yes, you did. You hemmed me up in the corner. You told me that I was a bucket list. Yeah, she sure did.
Bucket list.
She's like, you on my bucket list.
I like the bucket list.
Yeah. So I was just like, I get flummoxed a lot. Like I get like tongue tied. I'm good at doing what I do once I'm comfortable. If you come to
what she do, is she really doing real texting? Let me know.
Text her, please. Anyway,
phone a friend.
Yeah,
tell your friends about me.
But no. She was good people, and to this day I still speak to her.
Honestly.
Yeah. She was cool on. She
got a relationship. So this was really good. This was some good tea.
You just want to be all in the business.
Yeah, and we, on that note, we're gonna turn it a little bit. We want to give our condolences to one of our co-workers.
Oh yeah.
Who passed away. Her name was Tabitha Brown, a real one. Said it, meant it, didn't care.
She did. I you know what?
Gone too soon.
Yeah.
Gone too soon.
I
used to call her Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Yeah.
What, the
Cinderella.
From the start?
It was like either you gonna be Cinderella or you gonna be Sleeping Beauty. Who you gonna be? She was like Sleeping Beauty because she come clean up that whole desk and go take a nap.
She did.
I'm like, Sleeping Beauty, get up. Sleeping Beauty, get up. And then she go, what, Cinderella? Leave me the hell alone. What the fuck? Who's coming, Miller? Who's coming? Like, So condolences to her and her family. She's
Friends
in a better place. Condolences to all our co-workers that are feeling it right now. It shocked me. It just seems so. I don't know how you guys are taking everything that's happening. Even before COVID, but now that COVID has kind of hit us, that seems to be so prevalent in our society, in our lives, especially with us. I think we're dying off too soon, too early, too quick. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I've removed myself from watching television. I can't watch television anymore. It puts me in a space. To be honest with you, I have stopped watching TV really and truly since about 9/11. Like I don't watch news. 9/11 did something to me that really, first of all, I remember coming out my house and I can smell the air. I can smell the death in the air. I know that's what it is. I used to be able to smell it. Everybody I looked at, I would look at you and be like, this could be your last day. This could be your last day. Exactly.
This could be your last day. This could be, and it was becoming a problem for me. Like I'm constantly thinking about it. My kids step out the house, boom, I think they're gonna die. They go to daycare, boom, I think they're gonna die. So I had to stop. And then, I would see these things on TV with kids, with people jumping out windows. They had you know what made me stop? The vision of the man that kept. They were showing over and over. The man kept falling out. I had to turn it up.
I remember that vividly.
Yes.
I see it right now.
Yes. And they still use that sometimes. I saw that recently in like a documentary. If I was that family You would have to stop showing my family member. I don't even listen. Stop.
I don't think they even knew
who it was.
Who it was.
Yeah, you're right. They probably didn't.
Probably didn't know who it was.
That it was just real crazy. So I just kind of stay away from that. And yeah, that was my first like real experience with a woman. Mm-hmm. My next experience after that was years. Years and years and years. I had already had my son. And for the tribers who know me, and I guess, you know, I can kind of give you guys a little backstory on me. I have 2 kids, and like I said, I was married to for 17 years. I also had a child before in 1991. No, I'm lying, sorry. Pregnant in 89, birthed in 90. She passed away in 91.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I lost a child due to a terrible, terrible accident. It was unexpected. She was not supposed to die because she was very healthy. She was a day before she turned 18 months. And I was in Jamaica. Real quick, I'll tell the story. And it doesn't bother me to tell. It's been so many years. I actually think of her now and I can smile. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't hit me like how it used to hit me before. But yeah, I was working with Child Protective Services. I used to work with this place called Park. And we used to go and deal with a lot of orphan kids in different countries, probably different provinces when we were in Canada. We had went to Jamaica working with an orphanage. My friends, everybody, she was the only baby. I wanted to take her so she could meet her father's family, who at the time was from Jamaica. They weren't allowed to come to Canada, so let's bring her down. Brought her down real quick. Wonderful trip. Everybody loved her. Everybody watched her. They looked out for her. She was the only baby, so they made sure. This one particular day, the night before, we went to a bashment, a reggae bashment. Back then, matter of fact, if anybody follows the reggae, said Sunsplash. It was like Sunsplash. Right. It was a Sunsplash we went to. So me and my friends, we went to co-workers / friends, went to Sunsplash. Not everybody went. So whoever stayed back at our villa stayed with her. I bathed her, I fed her, I put her to bed. We left, she was sleeping. We didn't come back until like 6 o'clock in the morning. Right. Mind you, she done fell asleep at 7:30. Right. So at 6:45, she was up. At 6:45, I'm just falling asleep. Right. So now, you know, I do what I have to do with her. What happened is she woke up, I didn't wake up. So what woke me up out of my sleep is that she went her pampered, she smeared poop all over the people that wall. We were in a beautiful villa. So now I'm smelling this shit. I have to get up, I have to clean it up, I have to clean her up. Cleaned her up. Put her in the common area where everybody was. Didn't ask anybody to look after her because they've been doing that. Now, the next day we were supposed to be flying back to Canada. So now everybody got to pack. So one person gets up and they leave. 2 people get up and they leave. No, remember, nobody's responsible for her. Right. So they're not realizing each person that's leaving, you're leaving her with less people. Till I guess somebody ended up leaving or not paying attention, left her there. One of the things I used to do with her every morning was put on her little wings and we used to go in the pool. The villa had a wonderful pool. So I would take her swimming every morning. She loved it. I'd make her jump in. She couldn't swim for nothing, but I'm there. Jump in, sweetie. She jumped in. Whee! She managed to make her way from the ground level up. She was about 18 months. She was a smart little girl, so she knew the routine. She went out there. I guess the villa people at that point did not lock the gate, and I don't hold them responsible for that. I'm the one responsible. They didn't lock it. She saw the pool. She jumped in. I had no idea. I had no idea. So now I've already cleaned up. I said, let me lay back down. Ain't nobody bring her back in yet. Let me lay down. I didn't wake up until maybe 11 o'clock. Now people are packing. We have things that we have to do in the orphanage. I'm like, yo, where's Chanel? I'm not worried. I'm going in each room. There was about 16 of us on the trip. Oh, wow. So there's a lot of people that we got to check. I'm not worried. Okay, she's not on this floor. She must be upstairs. I go upstairs. We're looking. Everybody's like, no, last time I saw her was in the common area. That's what everybody said. Exactly. Last time I saw her, she was in the common area. Then I was like, I didn't ask anybody to watch her. So now I start to panic. Okay, so I'm thinking she's around the house somewhere. We're calling her. She's not coming. She's not coming. After about 30 minutes of not finding her, now I'm panicking because I cannot find my child. Where is my child? Now we start looking outside the villa. So one of the girls who was there decides, let me go look by the pool. Because the pool was kind of higher up. You got to go upstairs. Let me go look by the pool. She went and looked by the pool, and By the scream that she let out, I knew that she found my child. Now, I didn't know how it was. When I ran up those stairs and I saw my child, she jumped in the water, but I had already seen my child floating.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't remember anything else after that. Everything is blank. I kept coming in. I remember my boss, my coworkers giving CPR. They were calling the ambulance. Then I blacked out again. It's almost like my brain didn't want me to, because I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. So it's almost like my body shut me down.
Right.
Shut me down to kind of, and then I'd come back and I'd see, they tried everything. Up to this day, 119 in Jamaica never came. They never came. The only way we got to the hospital is because the person that lived next to the villa, which was his home, it was in Montego Bay, he drove a taxi. He's now coming back. He was out all night. He stayed out a little late, so he heard all the commotion. He knew that there was people from foreign next door because he heard us. He came to visit and shit. Right. So when he heard all the commotion, he came. He saw everything. He grabbed her up and he grabbed me up and he said, "I'm gonna take you to the hospital." So he drove me, but it was already too late. Right. She had already been. If that had happened in Canada or even happened in New York, they might have had. I might have.
Yeah, because a baby, even if they in the water and you could bring them back.
You could bring them back.
You could bring an adult.
Right. But because so much time went back and then she started to froth from her nose and her mouth. Yeah. I went to, and it was really crazy because when we got to the hospital, the doctor didn't even touch her. He's like, "There's nothing I can do." I'm trying to hold my child. Like, I kept trying to keep her warm and shit. Right. And I'm telling him, "Please take my baby and save her." He's like, "There's nothing I can do." No, I can't do right now. I said, I cursed out I spit in his face. And he told me he marked my face. I didn't care. Right. Your fierce mark. All right. My baby's dead. What? Like, I didn't care. I really didn't care. So that was my first child. And that was hard for me. Yeah. Because you got to understand, I went to school for early childhood education. I worked in a daycare with small children. She came to the daycare with the small children. So when I was out for a really long time, when I came back to work, I only went back there for one day. I couldn't do it. No, that was Where's Chanel? Where's Chanel? And the staff kept telling the children not to ask, but they're kids. They're kids. They don't know. They don't know. And it was really out of innocence. And I ended up telling them. But it was hard for me. So so that's a little look into my life.
That's a look into her life.
There's more. We're definitely gonna get into it. But yeah. I just want to kind of, give you guys a little backstory on me, since nobody, or the people who are tribers who don't know me, now you know. Okay, Roman?
So again, when we come back, we're gonna have a guest, and she's gonna add a little flavor.
Yeah, she is.
All flavors. And again, it's been a pleasure.
Definitely.
It's been like about what? This is our 4th episode.
This is our 4th episode. Yeah.
And
we're gonna be back for number 5.
We're gonna be back for number 5.
We're gonna make sure we get that.
We're gonna get that. And
yeah.
It's been.
Is it about that?
No, not really. But
I wanted to also to listen today. You guys see that I'm talking a lot, guys. I had a really bad day. Well, it wasn't a bad day. I just had a really sad day yesterday. I found out yesterday that I have a really close high school friend that has been. She's been really going through some bad abuse, domestic abuse. There's also child abuse in it too. Considering that this person was great, she was going to be so great when we were in our 20s. I just listen. If anybody out there is being abused, just say something to somebody. You won't get judged. It just really hurt my heart to see that my friend, who was going to be so great,
and she still has time to be great, but now we have to get her where we got to get her out of it. She's in a deep depression. We got to find a way to pull her out of it, because if we let her stay there, that's it. Because she's somewhat lost now.
She's totally lost.
Yeah,
she's totally lost. So I'm just.
There's somebody out there to help. There's somebody out there.
Or if you know anybody that's going through any type of
abuse, they're going through it,
just be there. Don't ignore it. Just be there for them. Make plans with them. Try to get them out the house. Yes. Try to. you know, try to give them some resources where they can, and I know it's hard. I really do. Now that I'm adult and I'm older,
right,
it's kind of hard. Before I used to be like, well, why don't you just leave? Let's leave it.
What's wrong with you?
I understand. It's not that easy, but guess what? I had a conversation with a friend earlier today. When it's time for you to leave or when it's time for you to get out of it, you will leave and somebody will help
you. I've had that in my own family and we were like, oh, come on, enough already.
Yeah.
But when she had enough,
that's when
she left.
Yeah.
Nothing
So,
we could do about that.
You know, I just want to say one more thing. Listen, I think we're going to have to start opening up our lines.
Yes.
At the end of our show.
Why can't I call you?
Right. We have one person who just hit me up and she just, listen, she had a little something to say about Joe and Jane. So we're actually going to, we can't do it now because we're about to be out of time, but we're definitely going to, I'm going to make that a thing.
It's on our vibe bucket list.
Yes, it's on our vibe bucket list. There you go. We're definitely going to be opening up the lines at the end of the show. You guys can have questions, you know, anything
you
you want to ask.
hit us on the email.
Hit us on the email. I'm here. I'm going to be pretty much transparent, I guess, with my little dots on me and stuff like that. For those who are watching and those who are listening, please, you know, you're welcome to email, call in.
You can text 718-704-4104. We're always here for you.
There you go.
And if you want us to advertise any of your merchandise, definitely hit us on the email.
Our email is, and it's going to change soon, but I'll give you can still email us. It's earthvictoria.thevibe@gmail.com. Okay? earthvictoria.thevibe@gmail.com. All right?
Absolutely.
Email us. When that email does change, we're always going to keep you guys abreast of what's happening with us, any changes, anything, when we're moving locations, if we move locations, everything you're gonna know. All right?
You'll know. And you gotta follow me because you gotta hear about my date.
Yes, you guys have to come back. Hit like, click like, share and follow, subscribe.
Yes,
please do. We're always gonna have the shenanigans. All right. So it looks like we're gonna be out of here.
And y'all have a good rest of your week. And pray for me that this date really works.
The definition of entanglements is when you tangle in the sheets. All right, y'all. We out of here. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. We out. All right.
You are fool with your grapes. Yeah, this way, 9:17.
We started at about 17, don't we?